Let's get controversial, NASCAR edition. How do you feel about stage racing? Stage racing was introduced in 2017, so it's been around a while, enough for us to have solid data and evidence to really have opinions about how it's worked. And it seems like you either love it or you hate it. Negatives: stage racing can really just make a race feel clunky, especially the shorter races in the Truck Series and Xfinity Series. Last year, I went to the Daytona truck race along with the Daytona 500, but the truck race was a wreck fest. And the stages just added to kind of a clunky, not smooth race, and we didn't need those cautions when there already were a bunch of them. In races like that, it can make a long race longer or a short race just go by kind of quicker and ruin the natural rhythm of a race. Especially as I've been watching some races from the 1990s, there is a little bit of a longing for me to have this natural flow and rhythm to a race, because it can often lead and build to something beautiful at the end. I do think that stage racing has encouraged teams to be competitive throughout a race, especially on a super speedway, to try and get stage points to help them either get into the playoffs or advance through the playoffs, and particularly to go for a stage win, which will help them in the playoffs as well. I like that added layer of strategy and points and ways that it really values running well throughout a race, because I think that's a great indicator of if you're having success or not, if you're able to run up front throughout the course of the race. And I do like, especially if your driver ends up having a crash or a bad day at the end, that they still get rewarded with some points if they were able to run up front early. Stage racing has ruined some strategies at certain tracks. I think at times, super speedway racing, and definitely on the road courses, it has kind of made you either go for points or go for the win. And I kind of like to see when they go for both and just see dominant cars, but it definitely mixes up the strategy sometimes to make things interesting and offer a different wrinkle. Generally, I'm pro stage racing because I do think it adds some interesting elements and invites this competitivism throughout the race. But one of the things that I wish was different is that there were no cautions. I wish there were points awarded so that you see drivers be rewarded for being up front throughout the race. And throughout NASCAR's history, there have been bonuses and awards, particularly monetary, for drivers who led at halfway or led at certain points in races, even for regular season races, as I've been watching in the 1990s. But I wish that there wasn't necessarily a caution. As a fan at the racetrack, I do appreciate that natural break and chance to go get some refreshments and use the bathroom. But generally watching, I think it would be more interesting if they had to choose, can I stay out and stretch my fuel but get points, or just allowing the race to naturally play out a little bit more with those added bonuses.